The Hero's Burden is Destiny 2's Iron Banner submachine gun. It's a 900 rounds per minute elemental SMG with high range for its archetype. This weapon's perks are Adaptive Frame, your choice of high caliber rounds or drop mag, and Threat Detector, which grants increased reload speed, stability, and handling while near enemies. I like to take high caliber rounds over the drop mag because in PvP, high caliber rounds will cause an opponent to flinch more, which may lead to them missing shots. Drop mag's extra reload speed is nice, but I would prefer something that gives me the edge in the gunfight. For the sight, I like to choose the middle option, the SP28 front, but sights are subjective. I just found the most success with this weapon using this sight. Mida Mini Tool is the most popular 900 rounds per minute SMG, so I'll be comparing it to that in this video because many of you are likely using the Mida Mini Tool if you're still using an SMG. Compared to Mida, the Hero's Burden has more impact, range, reload speed, but it has less stability and handling. Mida also has 4 more rounds in the mag, and if you're using the Mida multi-tool, you will move much faster with the Mida Mini Tool. The Hero's Burden increased range of the Mida Mini is nice. It isn't a massive deal because you're very likely aren't using an SMG at medium range anyways. That's like not a effective recipe for success. It is very consistent because of this extra range though, and I'm able to use it at what I would consider fringe SMG range, whereas with the Mida Mini Tool you have to be kind of more selective at the ranges you're fighting because the range drop off is a real thing and you'll start doing very little damage. The Hero's Burden increased range, you're pretty much always doing the same amount of damage in the ranges that you're likely to be fighting people with a submachine gun. The Threat Detector perk is really what makes this weapon amazing, and it's really what makes this weapon viable in my opinion. Because if you're using an SMG, you're likely already in close proximity to the opponent, so it's just that perk is pretty much always going to be active for you when you're using this weapon. So you will always have an increased reload speed, more stability and handling, and like I said, the Mida Mini Tool, all it really had was stability and handling over the Hero's Burden. So when the Threat Detector perk is active, you're pretty much just gaining the increased range and impact for none of the drawbacks that the Hero's Burden initially had because your stability is going to be bumped up from the Threat Detector perk, and it is a noticeable change to stability and it makes it very easy to aim and use. Initially I wasn't liking this weapon, but once I started being more I was just trying to use it at ranges that were too far. Once I started being more selective with my ranges and I was only using it really when the Threat Detector perk was active, it's really easy to use, and it's just as easy to use as the Mida Mini Tool with the more consistency and the higher kill time because of the impact. I prefer sidearms for close range, but if you want to use an SMG in your elemental slot, I would pick between this and the Mida Mini Tool. If you're using the Mida multi-tool in your kinetic slot and you really value the increased movement speed of the Mini Tool, then go ahead and use it. It's great utility. Moving's fast. It definitely is a huge benefit, but if you're someone who really doesn't like using that or you don't really benefit from it much in your gameplay, like you notice you're not really using it to close distances on people, and you just want the most effective SMG for killing things, or you're not even using the Mida multi-tool in your kinetic, then I would pick the Hero's Burden. It's the next best thing. You get the stability of the Mini when you're using the Threat Detector perk, when it's active, and then you also get more range and impact, like I said, and that just leads to it being more consistent. The higher range and impact makes it more consistent, and then the high caliber rounds, which will cause your opponent to flinch more, is just another recipe for success. It's just a bunch of good things going for it, and that's why I think it's a really good SMG for gunfights. So if you're going up against a lot of Mida Mini Tools, which is probably the most popular 900 RPM SMG, you're probably going to win out a lot of those battles just because you have the high caliber rounds causing them to flinch and your weapon has more impact and range. That's going to be it for this review. I really hope you guys kind of see where I was going with it. There's really not that much to talk about. It's a pretty simple weapon. Like I said before, just to recap, if you really want the increased movement speed, go for the Mini Tool. If you're not even using the Mida multi-tool or you just don't even really value that movement speed, then go for the Hero's Burden because it's a very effective SMG, and I think it's more effective at killing things than the Mida Mini Tool is. Thank you for watching this video. This is definitely one of the few Iron Banner's weapons I would recommend using. I've kind of been disappointed by many of the Iron Banner weapons, but this one is definitely good, and it definitely, it slightly edges out the Mida Mini Tool in my opinion. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it and comment down below what you think of this weapon.